Stay calm and let life bring you what you deserve. Stoicism. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract peace, success, and happiness while others constantly chase them but never seem to catch them? The answer is not luck. It is not talent. And it is not coincidence. The answer is found in one powerful skill that the Stoics mastered centuries ago: the ability to remain calm. In a world addicted to rushing, forcing, worrying, and controlling, calmness has become a superpower. Most people believe they must chase everything they want. Chase success. Chase relationships. Chase recognition. Chase opportunities. But the Stoics taught something different. Focus on becoming the person who deserves those things, and life will often bring them to you at the right time. Today, we will explore powerful Stoic lessons that will help you stop forcing life, stop worrying about what you cannot control, and finally discover the peace that comes from trusting the process. And if you're new here, subscribe to Discipline Within for more powerful Stoic wisdom that helps you master your emotions, strengthen your discipline, and become mentally unstoppable. Now take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's begin. 1. Stop chasing what is running away. One of the strangest truths about life is this: the harder you chase certain things, the faster they seem to run away. Think about happiness. Have you ever desperately tried to be happy? The more you focused on becoming happy, the more frustrated you became. Think about sleep. The more you try to force yourself to sleep, the more awake you become. The same principle applies to many things in life: love, respect, success, peace. The Stoics understood that some things arrive naturally when we stop desperately trying to force them. Marcus Aurelius taught that our responsibility is action, not outcomes. Your responsibility is to plant the seed, not to pull the plant out of the ground. Your responsibility is to work hard, not to demand immediate rewards. Your responsibility is to become worthy, not to force results. There was a farmer who planted crops every season. His neighbor constantly dug up his seeds to check whether they were growing. The farmer remained patient. The neighbor remained anxious. Months later, the patient farmer harvested abundance, while the anxious neighbor harvested nothing. Many people treat life exactly like that neighbor. They constantly check, constantly worry, constantly panic, constantly force. And in doing so, they destroy the very process they are trying to accelerate. Ask yourself: am I watering my goals or digging them up every day with worry? Am I focused on effort or obsessed with results? Peace begins when effort becomes your focus. 2. The universe rewards patience. We live in a world that worships speed. Fast food, fast internet, fast success, fast gratification. But nature has never been in a hurry. The sun rises slowly. Trees grow slowly. Mountains form slowly. Yet they accomplish incredible things. The Stoics recognize that everything valuable requires time. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength under control. Many people quit right before their breakthrough because they mistake slow progress for failure. Imagine a man pushing a giant rock. Every day he pushes. Every day the rock barely moves. After months he feels discouraged. Then one day the rock suddenly rolls forward. People think the movement happened in one day. But the truth is that every push mattered. Life works the same way. Every workout matters. Every book matters. Every discipline choice matters. Every small improvement matters. Even when you cannot see immediate results. Seneca said, "Great things do not happen all at once." When you understand this, anxiety begins to disappear. You stop demanding instant rewards. You stop comparing your timeline to others. You stop rushing your journey. You trust the process. Ask yourself, what goal am I abandoning simply because progress seems slow? What if success is closer than I realize? The patient person often receives what the impatient person abandons. 3. Calmness creates clarity. Most mistakes are not made during moments of calm. They are made during moments of emotional chaos. When people are angry, they say things they regret. When people are afraid, they make poor decisions. When people panic, they overlook solutions. This is why Stoics train themselves to remain calm. Calmness is not the absence of problems. It is the ability to think clearly despite problems. There was once a ship captain navigating through a violent storm. The passengers screamed. The crew panicked. The waves crashed against the ship. Yet the captain remained calm. A frightened passenger asked him, "Aren't you afraid?" The captain smiled and said, "Fear won't stop the storm. But calmness might help me survive it." That is wisdom. The storm is not your enemy. Panic is. Many people spend more energy reacting to problems than solving them. A calm mind sees possibilities. A panicked mind sees only danger. The next time life challenges you, pause. Before reacting, ask, what would the calmest version of myself do right now? That simple question can change everything. 4. Stop trying to control everything. One of the greatest causes of suffering is trying to control things that were never yours to control. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the opinions of strangers. Yet millions of people spend their lives trying. And because they fail, they suffer. Epictetus taught one of the most powerful ideas in Stoicism. Some things are within our control. Some things are not. Wisdom is knowing the difference. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your character. You can control your choices. Everything else is uncertain. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents something you cannot control. The opinions of others. Past mistakes. Future fears. Unexpected events. The more rocks you carry, the heavier life becomes. The moment you put them down, life feels lighter. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control that I need to release? What would happen if I focused only on my actions today? Freedom begins when control ends. 5. What is meant for you will not miss you. One of the greatest fears people carry is the fear of missing out. Missing the perfect opportunity. Missing the perfect relationship. Missing success. Missing happiness. Missing their chance? Because of this fear, they rush decisions. They become desperate. They settle for things they know are wrong for them. The Stoics saw life differently. They believed that if you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, what truly belongs in your life will have a way of finding you. This does not mean sitting around and doing nothing. It means acting without desperation. Working without anxiety. Moving forward without fear. There was once a young woman who desperately wanted a particular job. She prayed for it. Worked for it. Imagined her future there. When she was rejected, she felt devastated. For months she believed her life had been ruined. A year later she accepted another position she had never considered. That job introduced her to people who changed her life. It gave her opportunities she could never have imagined. Years later she looked back and realized that the rejection she hated had actually protected her. How many blessings first appeared disguised as disappointments? How many doors had to close so better doors could open? Sometimes life is not denying you. Sometimes life is redirecting you. Ask yourself, am I trusting life, or am I trying to force it? Am I allowing temporary setbacks to convince me that my future is ruined? Remember this. What is meant for you requires preparation, not panic. 6. The power of silent growth. Most people only celebrate visible success. They celebrate promotions, awards, achievements, money, recognition. But the most important growth happens where nobody can see it. A tree spends years developing roots before it reaches impressive heights. The stronger the roots, the stronger the tree. Human beings are no different. Before success appears externally, it develops internally. Discipline, patience, wisdom, character, resilience. These qualities grow quietly. Nobody applauds them. Nobody notices them. Yet they become the foundation of extraordinary lives. There was a bamboo farmer who planted seeds. The first year, nothing happened. The second year, nothing happened. The third year, nothing happened. The fourth year, still nothing happened. Most people would quit. But the farmer continued. Then during the fifth year, the bamboo suddenly shot upward at an astonishing rate. Did it grow in 1 year? No. It had been growing underground the entire time. Many people quit because they cannot see progress. But invisible progress is still progress. Every day you choose discipline over comfort, you are growing roots. Every day you choose patience over frustration, you are growing roots. Every day you choose courage over fear, you are growing roots. Never underestimate what is happening beneath the surface. Ask yourself, am I judging my progress too quickly? What invisible strengths am I developing right now? Trust your roots. Your season is coming. 7. Do not let other people's opinions control your life. One of the quickest ways to lose peace is to give strangers control over your self-worth. Many people spend their entire lives performing for others, trying to impress them, trying to satisfy them, trying to gain their approval. But no matter what you do, someone will criticize you. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will dislike you. Marcus Aurelius understood this reality. He reminded himself that people's opinions change constantly. The same person praising you today may criticize you tomorrow. So why build your identity on something so unstable? Imagine a man carrying a mirror everywhere he goes. Every few seconds he checks it. If people smile at him, he feels happy. If people frown, he feels miserable. His emotions are completely controlled by others. Many people live exactly this way. Their confidence rises and falls based on external validation. The Stoic chooses a different path. Instead of asking, "What do people think of me?" they ask, "Am I living according to my values?" That question creates freedom. Because values remain stable when opinions change. Ask yourself, how much of my stress comes from worrying about what others think? What would I do differently if I stopped seeking approval? The moment you stop needing everyone's approval, you become incredibly powerful. 8. Difficulties are training, not punishment. When problems appear, most people immediately ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The Stoic asks a different question. "What is this teaching me?" That small shift changes everything. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every obstacle contains growth. Every hardship develops strength. Think about physical exercise. When you lift weights, your muscles experience resistance. Without resistance, there is no growth. Life works the same way. Without challenges, courage never develops. Without setbacks, resilience never develops. Without difficulties, wisdom never develops. There was a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal entered the fire again and again. Each time it became hotter. Each time it was hammered harder. If the metal could speak, it might think it was being destroyed. But the blacksmith knew better. The fire was not destroying the metal. It was strengthening it. Many of your current struggles are doing the same thing. You may not understand them today. But one day you may realize they were preparing you for responsibilities you could not yet handle. Ask yourself, what strength is this challenge trying to develop? What lesson might I be missing? Every difficulty carries a hidden gift. 9. Learn to be comfortable alone. Many people fear being alone. Silence makes them uncomfortable. Solitude feels frightening. So they constantly seek distractions. Noise. Entertainment. Validation. Company. But the Stoics understood something powerful. A person who cannot enjoy their own company will always depend on others for peace. And dependence creates weakness. Being alone does not mean being lonely. Being alone can become a source of tremendous strength. It allows reflection, growth, clarity, self-discovery. There was once a wise teacher who spent one day every month completely alone. No conversations. No distractions. No entertainment. When asked why, he replied, "How can I understand myself if I never spend time with myself?" Most people know everyone except themselves. They know celebrities. They know neighbors. They know coworkers. But they do not know their own minds. Solitude changes that. It teaches you who you are when nobody is watching. Ask yourself, can I sit quietly with my thoughts? Do I seek constant distraction? Who am I when nobody else is around? The stronger your relationship with yourself becomes, the less you depend on others for happiness. 10. Gratitude multiplies peace. One reason many people remain unhappy is because they constantly focus on what is missing. The bigger house they don't have. The money they don't have. The opportunities they don't have. The recognition they don't have. As a result, they overlook what they already possess. The Stoics practiced gratitude daily. Not because life was perfect, but because gratitude changes perspective. Imagine two people waking up in the same house. One notices everything wrong. The other notices everything right. Who enjoys life more? Not the person with more possessions. The person with better perspective. There was a wealthy man who constantly complained. Nothing satisfied him. There was also a poor farmer who appreciated every sunrise, every meal, every day of health. Strangely, the farmer experienced greater peace. Because peace does not come from abundance. Peace comes from appreciation. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everything he enjoyed could disappear. This wasn't pessimism. It was gratitude. Because when you realize something is not guaranteed, you value it more. Ask yourself, what blessings have I started taking for granted? What would I miss if it disappeared tomorrow? Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. And when gratitude grows, peace follows naturally. Before we continue, subscribe to Discipline Within for more timeless Stoic wisdom designed to help you master your emotions, strengthen your discipline, and build unshakable inner peace. The strongest people are not always the loudest. They are often the calmest. And the calmer you become, the more clearly you see the path life is placing before you. 11. Stop comparing your journey to everyone else's. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy peace. The moment you compare your life to someone else's highlight reel, you begin to feel inadequate. You start questioning your progress. You start doubting your abilities. You start believing you are behind. But behind whom? Life is not a race. There is no universal timeline that everyone must follow. Some people find success at 20. Others find it at 60. Some people discover their purpose early. Others discover it after years of searching. The Stoics understood that each person walks a unique path. Marcus Aurelius never compared himself to other emperors. He focused on becoming the best version of himself. That is where real growth happens. Imagine two trees planted side by side. One grows quickly. The other grows slowly. The slower tree might spend years developing stronger roots. If it compares itself to the faster tree, it will feel inadequate. But nature never compares. Nature simply grows. And so should you. Many people spend so much time watching others that they neglect their own development. They track everyone else's progress, everyone else's achievements, everyone else's victories. Meanwhile, their own dreams remain untouched. Ask yourself, am I measuring my life against someone else's timeline? Am I spending more time watching others than improving myself? The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. That is the comparison that leads to growth. 12. Your reactions shape your reality. Life is not always determined by what happens to you. Often, it is determined by how you respond. Two people can experience the same event and create completely different futures from it. One sees an obstacle. The other sees an opportunity. One becomes bitter. The other becomes wiser. One gives up. The other grows stronger. The event is the same. The reaction is different. Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Think about that carefully. A rainy day can ruin someone's mood. The same rainy day can make another person feel grateful. A rejection can destroy someone's confidence. The same rejection can motivate another person to improve. Events are powerful. But your interpretation is often even more powerful. There was once a young athlete who lost an important competition. He felt embarrassed and disappointed. For weeks he considered quitting. Then he asked himself one question. What if this defeat is exactly what I need? That question changed everything. Instead of quitting, he trained harder. He studied his weaknesses. He improved his mindset. Years later, he became a champion. The defeat that once seemed devastating became the turning point of his life. Ask yourself, how am I interpreting my current challenges? Could there be another way to view this situation? Sometimes changing your perspective changes your entire future. 13. Discipline creates freedom. Many people believe discipline is restrictive. They think discipline takes away freedom. The Stoics knew the opposite was true. Discipline creates freedom. Without discipline, people become slaves to their impulses, slaves to distractions, slaves to emotions, slaves to comfort. Imagine a person who cannot control their spending. Every purchase feels good in the moment, but eventually debt controls their life. Another person practices discipline. They save. They plan. They exercise restraint. Years later, they enjoy financial freedom. The same principle applies everywhere. A disciplined body enjoys better health. A disciplined mind enjoys greater peace. A disciplined person enjoys greater opportunities. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is having control over yourself. There was a musician who practiced every day while others relaxed. People thought he was sacrificing freedom. Years later, he performed around the world. Meanwhile, those who avoided discipline remained stuck. Temporary discomfort created lasting freedom. Ask yourself, what area of my life needs more discipline? What short-term comfort is stealing my long-term success? Every disciplined choice is a gift to your future self. 14. Accept what you cannot change. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning acceptance. Not everything can be fixed. Not everything can be changed. Not everything can be reversed. Many people spend years fighting reality. They argue with the past. They resist the present. They fear the future. As a result, they suffer. The Stoics practiced acceptance. Not because they were weak. Because they were wise. They understood that resisting reality does not change reality. Imagine standing in the ocean trying to stop the waves. No matter how hard you push, the waves continue. Eventually, exhaustion takes over. Life works the same way. Some events are beyond your control. People leave. Plans fail. Aging happens. Loss occurs. Change is inevitable. The question is not whether these things will happen. The question is how you will respond when they do. There was once an elderly man whose home was destroyed during a storm. Neighbors expected him to collapse emotionally. Instead, he calmly began rebuilding. Someone asked, "How are you so peaceful?" He replied, "I cannot change what happened. I can only choose what happens next." That is Stoic strength. Acceptance does not mean giving up. Acceptance means seeing reality clearly and responding wisely. Ask yourself, what reality am I refusing to accept? How much energy am I wasting fighting what already exists? Peace begins the moment reality is accepted. 15. The quiet power of consistency. People often underestimate consistency because it looks ordinary. There is nothing dramatic about showing up every day. Nothing exciting about small improvements. Nothing glamorous about repetition. Yet consistency changes lives. A single workout changes very little. Hundreds of workouts transform a body. A single page changes very little. Thousands of pages transform a mind. A single act of kindness changes very little. Years of kindness transform relationships. Success rarely arrives through one giant action. It usually arrives through countless small actions repeated over time. There was a stonecutter striking a massive rock. He hit it once. Nothing happened. Twice. Nothing happened. 50 times. Still nothing happened. 100 times. Still nothing. Then suddenly the rock split in half. Was it the final strike that broke the rock? No. Every strike mattered. Every strike contributed. The same is true for your life. Every disciplined morning matters. Every healthy choice matters. Every positive habit matters. Every act of courage matters. The results may be invisible for a while, but they are accumulating. Quietly. Patiently. Powerfully. Ask yourself, what small habit could completely transform my future if I repeated it daily? Am I expecting immediate results instead of trusting consistency? Never underestimate small actions performed consistently. Small actions become great achievements. Great achievements become extraordinary lives. And extraordinary lives are built one ordinary day at a time. Many people wait for motivation before taking action. The Stoic takes action whether motivation appears or not. Because they understand a truth that most people overlook. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. And when discipline stays long enough, life begins rewarding the person who refused to quit. Continue walking your path. Continue improving yourself. Continue trusting the process. Continue choosing calmness over panic. Because life has a remarkable way of rewarding those who remain patient, disciplined, and faithful to their growth.